What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Yes. We are here. We're not playing around today, baby. I'm back. It's been a while. I might be out for a little while longer as I get other things situated, but let's focus on now. Okay. I just pulled my back, so every time I lift up on both arms, oh man, that shit hurt. But I'm here, y'all. Life is very interesting, I will say, because the way life is interesting, it's just hold on. Did I do that? Oh, that's wrong. Okay. Life is very interesting, everybody. Sometimes things happen, or sometimes things reveal themselves at a good point. Sometimes things happen just for the right reason. Okay, and I like it when it's like that, because you get to see the world and the people in this world for who they are and what they are. Right? You get to see the greedies, the thirsties, the infidels. I don't even know if that's a word or not. You get to see a lot of people that show their face. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing. And life is life. So on the strength of this show, it's basically work on yourself. Because I know a lot of people that's going through things, and only if this whole time they've been working on themselves, they probably had a better situation. But it's never too late. Okay? It's never too late to work on yourself and be the best person that you can be. But before I get started, like I said, I've been out. I've been working on things. I've been moving around. I got a new studio, new location, new house, everything. But the grind continues, and it was a real rough 2 months. And I think it's going to get rougher. But at the end of the day, you're here for a temporary time. You got to enjoy it. Anything that's out of your control, you got to rock with it. Rock with it. Because it's out of your control. But before I get into that, this is episode 402. We are in the fours. You heard? This got to make sure. Every time I lift my arm up, oh man, that hurt. But hey, lifting boxings and stuff, it got me. I ain't gonna lie. This podcast is sponsored by 2006 Stack, Survive, and Speak, the all-in-one power playbook bundle. Okay. I think you get 4 ebooks with that and a guide. But that's probably my best work in the ebook field, and that's sponsoring this show. Also, if you want to check that out, go ahead, hit that link in the description, in the show notes. But also, I got something else for you. You can also be a collaborator with me on this digital hustle and ebook bundle. So basically, you get 50% of each ebook you sell. So all you have to do is link the show to your socials, and anytime somebody buy the bundle, you get $10. That's all you have to do. And if you want to know more about that, also click the link, and all you have to do is send me an email, and then I will set you up with everything. I guess you'll get an email from what is the company? Gumroad. And Gumroad, you have your own Gumroad situation. Gumroad splits the money with you. I have nothing to do with the money, so you don't have to worry about me. You have your own account going in your own bank account. Gumroad take care of all of that. All right. So check that out if you can. So today, like I said, today is I'm starting to notice a trend, and maybe this trend is probably like a little off, probably a little ways that I'm starting to see things, and I know you're starting to see things too if you are paying attention. A lot of people is going through marital situations. Now, you have 2 individuals. I say that's more like 2 people driving, or each, you have a motorcycle, and one wheel is this one spouse and the other wheel is the other spouse, right? So for that motorcycle to ride perfectly, you have to have the wheels in sync, not one, brakes clamping, not one with a flat tire. Everything have to move in order. Okay. So in many situations, people uh they dibble and dabble in society's guilty pleasure, and that is the internet. I say around my time, it wasn't, and I keep telling my age, but I'm actually 49. I'll be 50 wrapping around next year. Okay. So that's going to be very important to me getting to the 50. I've been around here 50 years. It's crazy, right? When you think about this, bro, you 50 years old. So what? So anyway, and the crazy thing is, um, you start to see, I'm starting to see, well, let me go back. In my time, it was just the girls you met, wherever you was going, or wherever you got, wherever you left, wherever you was going, and whenever you arrived. So that can be if you're going to the mall, you get on a bus or you're driving. But if you get on a bus, it's going to be girls on the bus. You get downtown area, it's going to be girls at the downtown area. When you get to the mall, it's going to be girls at the mall. And all the way back, it's going to be girls. And that's basically who you met en route is who you met. You understand what I'm saying? That's basically what it was. Nowadays, you have the internet, you have a phone that, you can connect with people from all around the world. And you get some people that, I guess, through childhood situations or physical situations, they never had that amount of attention. So when certain people talk to them, they can get them to do different things. Hence a husband, or he's out there wilding, or hence a wife out there. And, from my research and, doing this and watching that, it will basically, you know, bring down a whole household. And that's just the way it is. Whole household over some dumb shit. So it's crazy. And, I see a lot of it. I don't have experience with it myself, but I would never say never in this time period, because that person is their own person. That person makes their own. I didn't make that person in the lab. I didn't put that person together. They make their own thing. Every time I move. Anyway. So, and I'm starting to see it really on the male side when men, now whatever they're doing, I don't know what they're doing, right? But in the form of the female, it's basically they have certain things going on where they will be married to a person for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden somebody else got their eyes. And in situations where men will get down and probably do the dirty and get back to business, as far as being a family man, yeah, is that wrong? Yes, that's wrong. But life is life. You have the majority of women that does this is somehow hooked. They connected. It's like a drug. It's like dopamine in their brain, and they just can't stop. And they do crazy things to be a part of this, and they bring the whole household down. And like I said, I personally seen this. Um, I did a lot of research on this, and it's just crazy. It's rampant out there. It seemed like that age around the 40s, 50s, mid 30s. It's just like they just taking off the apron and the wife clothes, and they just want to be out there. Now, am I wrong? Like I said, maybe I just see a small percentage, but tell me. I mean, tell me. Just try this. Look it up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and just go through the comments and see what the guys is going through. See how they was married the whole time. She had a side dude, and the side dude going raw and everything. And probably, if you added it like that, it's probably kids in that mix. That's probably not the person's kids, if you depending on the time. So we are talking about serious things going on. So this show, I wanted to focus on the men. Maybe I double back and focus on the women. But like I said, nobody's perfect. Dabbling, dibbling, dabbling, it's just a part of life, unfortunately. People is going to sleep around, and it's just the way you do it. If you're doing it for fun, if you're doing it for jokes, if you're doing whatever you're doing it for, it shouldn't mess up the marriage dynamic, the house dynamic, the family dynamic. And if you do your research like I did, you will see a lot of situations where it's messing up. The women is making it very hard, and they are messing up the whole family dynamic. So there's a few things that I wanted to say to the fellas to basically focus on yourself. Okay. Like I said, this is for the fellas. I'll double back and come to the women. This is for the fellas. If you go on, if you're dealing with a disrespectful, unfaithful, or a checked out woman, I got some pointers for you, and hopefully you would take these in. And oh man, every time I lean up, oh, it's like somebody stabbing me in the back. Anyway, we gonna get through this. I should have took some medicine before I came on. So anyway, it's crazy to see. Now let's play the dynamics out real quick. You get a guy, right? He probably steps out on his marriage. He probably goes to a location, um, or he has a side piece, or he's just out there. Probably he come out like a vampire once in the blue, take something down, and go back into the darkness, right? Okay. If there is no evidence, he is not caught because he doesn't bring that kind of energy into the house. Now, flip it over on a woman. In certain situations, it is said, you can look it up. I'm not just saying it out my ass. Women, well, married women are easier than single women because basically they were saying their guard is down because of years and years of marriage. And guys know this. And they just be, they would just let that door open and they would basically break down everything that they built just for an experience, but an experience that they can actually have with their husband. And I didn't hear women say they'd rather have a threesome outside of the house instead of bringing their husband along inside of three. That is wild to me. Now, me personally, I wouldn't want to have a threesome with my wife, but to the fact that it's women out there that would rather have a threesome with an outside individuals opposed to with their spouse, it's wild. And I know once you reach that point, you basically, from what I heard, once you reach that point where you're doing threesomes with your wife, is it's like, boy, it's hard to come back from. Depending on the situation, you probably start dibbling dabbling with the girl that was joined in, or the wife might start dibbling dabbling with the woman that was joined in. In some cases, y'all might add another man in, which is weird, but hey, to each his own. So I just want to basically break down to the guys that's out there that is going through this. And you got some that probably stepped out, right? You got some that didn't. You got some that just worked hard and they stayed focused. And somehow the woman just brought down the whole situation. And the craziest part, like you got certain situations, like you have the one that step out and it's just a one night stand. Okay, boom. You got one that will step out and do something and somehow fall in love with this person. And then they will continue the relationship for years upon years without the husband even knowing. And then you will have some that's so good in their situation, the husband can't tell, but something slips, whether she's going raw or just some kind of crazy activity that's been going on, she gets pregnant. And that's the funny one. When somebody gets pregnant, when a woman gets pregnant, creeping with somebody, and, the husband knows, or the husband knows it's not his, because you can times that shit out. Okay, so you got different situations, and I know it's more than that than I just said, but let's get into things that you should do. This is for the guys. Like I said, this is for the guys that is in this situation, that's coming into this situation, or is on the back end of the situation. You just have to work on yourself because at the end of the day, just say if you out there grinding, you hustling, you doing whatever you're doing, right? And you just feel off, something is off with your wife or your girlfriend. And you just keep grinding, you keep hustling, and then whatever comes to the light, you're still at the top. And if nothing comes to the light, you're still at the top. You get what I'm saying? But if you're just dragging out and not really accomplishing nothing, not getting the money situated, not popping out here in these streets, you only got one life. And come to find out she's doing something, it consumes you. And by the time, if you chasing her around and you find out, she not doing that, that also consumes you. So you will always be chasing because you are focusing on trying to see if they doing something. I'm gonna give you some advice. Um, if if you all right, if you suspect something going on, just ask. Okay, more than likely they're gonna deny it, but continue to do you. Like you can't sit there and track them and chase them and do all this stuff. Just put it in the back of your head, fall back, build yourself up, right? Build yourself up, and everything will fall into place. Like I said, even if it comes out that she was doing something for years, you put in a place where she at, and that's just a trifling, and you leave her there. You separate from her, you do whatever you have to do, and you go on with your life. And hopefully you can find somebody better. But if you're not looking for nobody better, just continue to work on yourself, and the good ones will find you. Okay. And that like I said, there's different situations where people out there. Now you have different scenarios where the husband is wilding, and he found out his wife is wilding, and he's gets all crazy. That's kind of tricky because my man, listen, you out there wilding. You're not just sleeping with one. You're sleeping with multiple women. Then you find out your wife is sleeping with one. I don't know. That's a little bit tricky right there. That's a little bit tricky. But like I said, it's all about building yourself up. So if you suspect something, but you can't put your finger on it, just go harder. Go harder. If you don't expect nothing, and she just seemed like a princess with nothing going on, go harder. Okay, at the end of the day, by you going harder, you will win any situation. Think about this. If you was a good man to her and she stepped out, just say you was 80% and she stepped out to be with 20%, and you found out and you let her go and she looked back, that dude is not going to stay with her. He's not. He just got in her head. He smashed out, and that's that. And now she's single with kids or whatever and just going through life, you know? But any issue she had in the house, all she had to do was just tell you. But that's the good way. And, a lot of people don't go in the good way. But let me break this down. Every time I move, I'm going to try not to move. It's feel like a knife in my back. Okay. The first one is you can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. Okay? You can. You could have married a hoe. You don't even know. You could have married a scallywag. You know, when they dip out, it's another thing to tell. Depending on how she act around people, is she always like lovey-dovey, not lovey-dovey, but giving people hugs and just all mouth all open, smiling and just, like a happy dog when you take her places. Is it like that? Because imagine if she's like that with you, imagine her by herself. That means anybody can walk up to her and get a number and all of that crazy shit. So you should be able to see that at the beginning. You cannot fix somebody who doesn't want to be fixed. So if you do suspect something and you have proof, dip. Don't hesitate. Even if you got everything set, everything's going great, dip. Just dip. Okay? And that's, you can't, you definitely if you find out something now, you trying to compete, you want respect, you want loyalty. I want loyalty. You trying to force love. You can't force love. You can't force respect. You can't force loyalty. It's a wrap. Dip. Okay? Next, your energy is your currency. Okay? Stop spending it on someone that is not going to give it back. Simple as that. Somebody and it's not just for cheating. Like I said, this is for a disrespectful woman, also an unfaithful woman, and a woman that's just checked out. You can tell when they checked out. You never get the intimate care. You never get your head rubbed. When you sit on the couch, they never come sit by you. They sit on the other side, they get the covers and they get all comfortable, but they don't get comfortable with you. Okay? Just remember that. A woman's behavior is not your identity. Her disrespect doesn't define your value. Okay? You did not build her in the lab. Okay. If you found out your wife been smashing everybody under the sun, that should not take away from your identity. That should not take away from your values. Okay. She just happened to go astray. And maybe you didn't know. Maybe you seen a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. Maybe you didn't know. The next one is when you level up, you gain clarity. Leveling up is the key to all of this. Okay? Working on yourself, making it obvious what you should tolerate and what you shouldn't. Boundaries. Rock with the boundaries, go with it hand in hand. You will never have no issues. Okay? You would never have no issues going with the boundaries hand in hand. And that's just basically what it is. Um, let's see what else we got. Self-improvement, it puts you back in control. So, like I said, all of this has to do with building yourself. Um, get your body right, hit the gym, do what you have to do. Get straight, get right, get fit, get your money right, get your mindset right, because that might throw you off, depending on how you felt about this woman. And being, you might see it as betrayal, you might see it as every little thing under the book, under betrayal. You have to get your mindset back and just say you was with a bad apple and have nothing to do with you. You went and picked the apple at the store that looked good and shiny and everything on the outside. Okay, you didn't know what was in the inside. You just went off outside features and personality. So it's not your fault that you end up with a bad apple. So self improvement puts you back in control. Hit that gym, hit the money, get the money straight, get the mindset. Okay. All right. Now, um, a stronger man attracts better options automatically. So I don't know which place you was in when all of this shit happened, or when you met that woman, or when you found out things was going away. But I don't know how it took you or where you fell, but a stronger man attracts better options automatically. So when you become a high value man, you know, you you're not basically begging. So they will be falling in line. So you don't have to worry about getting back in the fray of trying to find somebody better. Just make yourself better. And somebody better will arrive. I guarantee that. Peace is more powerful than attachment. Okay? Peace is more powerful than attachment. Being able to walk away from something is a beautiful thing. If you find out bullshit is going on, just walk away. If you find out disrespect is going on, just walk away. I don't care how your life is set up. I don't care if you just bought a house, you just got a new job, you just moved out of state. You can always, it's just going to take probably like 6 months to a year to get straight. But after that, believe me, you would thank me and you would thank yourself from doing it. So you want to be able to walk away from all the bullshit. Now, building yourself eliminates fear. Now, it's going to be fear because you're thinking, damn, should I settle for this? So we try to work it out? It's up to you. Because you have to have in your mindset, if you work it out, she's going to do it again. So if you're cool with that, have at it, sir. But building yourself eliminates fear. When you can take care of your physical self, your mental, and your financial, you stop being scared of losing anyone because you will gain anything you want. I just wish people understood that. Just build yourself. Even if that shit burn your stomach, even if it burn your chest, even if you like, damn, who the fuck I was with for all these years. Right? You show your son or every other young man watching how a man handles disrespect. You don't argue with chaos. You elevate above it. Simple as that. You don't argue with chaos. You elevate above it. And Focusing on yourself turns pain into fuel. Think about this. You get the worst news ever. Whatever you suspected in your gut came out to be true. I suggest to get over that, don't go drinking and go clubbing and all that. Go hit the gym, get a gym membership, go jogging. That shit is fuel. You have to use it for fuel. If you got a business, use that for your business. Use the fuel. It will help. Use it as fuel. Simple as that. It gets no better than that. Okay. Breakups hurt, disrespect hurts, but it comes to rocket fuel when you can channel all of that shit into your growth. You can just channel all of that energy, that negative energy that's being spilled out, and you take that negative energy and turn it into positive energy, and that will get you out of here. Focus on yourself, man. Turn it into fuel. Your future demands a better version of you. Now, you might get people that say, man, I knew she was like that the whole time. Yeah. It might be embarrassing to this lady you put on a pedestal, which you shouldn't do. Turns out to be the old scallywag for the streets, right? She turns out to be, the worst class. But you got to understand something. You, again, and I'm going to say this like I always said, you did not make her in the lab. You didn't. She is her own person. You've seen an apple, all clear, beautiful, shiny, and everything, but you didn't know the inside was rotten. And unfortunately, that's what you got. Now, if you got your health and you didn't grab nothing on the way up from her, consider that a win. Keep it pushing. Now, a woman is supposed to be added to your life, not become your life. Okay? There are millions of women out there. Billions, I'm sorry. There are billions of women, not only in the United States, but wherever you at, all over the world. And whatever you're looking for is out there. Okay? When you find a solid one, you know what to do. But you got to make sure she's a solid, because you thought the other one was a solid too. So you got to make sure. Don't fuck up again. But I wouldn't really dabble or get into a relationship soon. Focus on yourself. Build up. Get your money. Get your mind right, because your mind going to be off. You're going to be feel betrayed times a billion. So focus on yourself. Hit those weights. Channel all that energy into, getting bold. Running a marathon. Taking care of your business. Putting your family first. Okay, if you got kids, you got to make sure they straight, because there's a whole nother lifestyle for them. And don't blame the mother in front of the kids. You already know what it is. You know how she fucked up. The kids will eventually find out in the future. And that's basically it. And the moral of this story is, never quit working on yourself. Because like I said, just imagine that you have person A and then you have person B. Person A is rocking out a lot of money, making things happen while he was married, and doing what he doing. Comes to find out, it's a situation that his wife dabbling in. Shuts down the situation, divorces, boom. Whatever she get. End of the story. You, on the other hand, you're splitting everything down the middle. You got to wait till this come. You got to wait till that come. And you probably got to stay in the house and be disrespected and all this other shit. And even if you suspect nothing right now, level up. Get that money right. Get that mind right. Get the, finances right. I just said finances, but come on. You understand what I'm saying. God damn it. Get right. Stay right. All right? Whether you having whether you got a loyal wife or not, always be ready. All right? Because validation is out there. It's you against thousands of dudes online. All right? Remember that. All right, guys. As I move and my back hurts again, thank you all for watching and thank you all for listening. This will be regular now, somewhat. But if something happened, I will update y'all. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for listening. Peace and hair grease.